Hey guys, this is D, aka Dark Frozen Depths, back with some more Kamihime project. Now, right now I'm doing this off of the Opera browser, which currently is a better working thing. It works better than Google Chrome, but it has its own issues too. It tends to slow down after like 30 minutes of gameplay or something. But anyways, getting back on point. Reason I'm doing this video is trying to like edit some stuff that I've said in the past, because as it turns out, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of info I managed to find out through Harem Battle Club. But the biggest thing you have to really pay attention to is what the descriptions are for the Eidolons, because this changes everything. Now, as you can see, I have a lot of different Eidolons and whatnot. Now, here's a very good example. And this honestly shuts down the Willems too, if you really want to be honest. They're only good for their summon effects and not as a main or sub Eidolon. But, okay, who's a good one to take as an example? Ifrit. Okay. Now, off the bat, this looks like it's a very good one. Your fire character's attack power goes up by 50%, and the burst streak damage goes up by 20%. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Now, let's compare it to, say, somebody like Fafnir. This one says fire and water attack up 40%. Now, here's the difference between these descriptions. Notice how it says attack and not character attack. That means it's the same effect as pretty much an element buff. And this honestly does more damage increase than when it says character attack. So that said, if you have one that says something like water attack opposed to water character attack, then the water attack is better. If it has character in the description, it's going to end up being significantly weaker. This is why the Eidolons that give like 100% are really, really valuable, because they not only give a huge power spike, but it also says attack and not character attack. So it's a huge, huge spike, and it can go up to 130% if I remember that right. But that's the whole thing. That's what makes them so valuable. So that also means that in the case of the Willems, like you've already seen one right there. I haven't gotten the water one yet, by the way. But in the case of the Willems, that makes them even worse, considering the fact that this is character attack. But you got to keep this in mind too. When you use a Willem, you're having 3 separate elements. The only one that seems like it could be possibly anything worth it would be the Phantom one, but there's downsides to that one too, like not being able to pick it as a friend Eidolon. But the whole thing with all these Willems is the fact that you're cutting some power from your team somewhere. And that said, it's not too worth it. Like for instance, I could probably get my hands on Awakened Sevarog at some point, then have Beelzebub and another element in there. But the thing is, it's still cutting down my overall offensive power that I could be getting. Especially if I just up and just get the 100 fire attack one. But that's what the thing. So that said, you have to pay attention to if it says attack or character attack. If it has character in there, don't use them. Which also means you should not be using Willems unless they're in your sub slots. The reason why I say in the sub slots is their summon effect. This is all allies' fire attack goes up, meaning that their fire damage gets a direct increase outside of attack buffs and all that. That's the only reason why the Willems are still worth it, because the Phantom one gives you a full attack up. It's just a normal attack buff for everything. But that's the whole reason why I say that the Willems are still worth it. Just don't put them in your main. Don't put them as a sub. So anybody seeing this video, please don't do that. Like now, there's literally no reason to use them as a main or a sub. And that's also where you have to go back and double check all your Eidolons, because I noticed my light team started doing more damage when I did that. They were doing like about 15,000 per hit, but then when I go to switch it to a white attack up, which I had off of somebody, I think it was one of my Thunder Eidolons that actually had it too. Go figure. Yeah, Thunderbird. Thunderbird had white attack up 40%. I put her on, and suddenly they were doing more damage, even though my overall stats were lower. So that's the whole thing. You have to pay attention, very close attention to this. That's the whole reason why I wanted to do this video, because it's a very big thing, and it can help your damage output a lot. So you have to pay very close attention to who does what now. That said, my suggestions for Eidolons and whatnot are going to be completely changed, and I may have to just do another video for that one. But like I said, it shouldn't stop you from getting this water Eidolon, because if you're running a water team, then you got a water buff. Just don't put them in your main. But that said, that makes Jack Frost really strong for my water team, considering that she's got water attack and fire resist. Now, Reki would be a little bit stronger because of the 5%, but hey, I got a nice filler. But anyways, that said, I'm going to start going through more stuff and whatnot. Like, see, this is like characters. I think the disasters do the same thing, like character attack. But I'm going to start going through my stuff and then try to re-edit my teams accordingly. And expect more Kamihime project at some point, because I'm hopefully going to record that demon fight, which is a trip. But that's the whole thing. It seems like, honestly, it seems like I'm not seeing too much activity. I mean, I will see some raids be started here and there, but not as often as I thought. But anyways, that's all I got. I'll definitely get some more Kamihime project out pretty soon, but my main focus is something else on another game pretty soon, which you'll see later, probably within about 8-9 hours, probably somewhere around that mark. But anyways, that's all I have for this, guys. Take care.